The Babylon, the eternal city. Imagine a place of shimmering gold and towering walls, a city that rose from the dust of Mesopotamia to become the envy of the ancient world. This legendary city, located in modern-day Iraq, was a beacon of law, science, and faith, but its story is not one of steady glory. It's a dramatic tale of destruction, revival, and breathtaking ambition. At the heart of this saga are two kings who shared a name, but lived centuries apart: Nebuchadnezzar I, the great restorer, and Nebuchadnezzar II, the legendary empire builder. Today, we'll uncover how these two rulers shaped the destiny of Babylon, lifting it from humiliation to its ultimate golden age. Long before these two kings, Babylon had already tasted greatness. In the 18th century BCE, King Hammurabi forged a powerful kingdom, leaving behind his famous code of laws. But empires are fragile. After Hammurabi's death, Babylon entered a long period of decline. It was plundered and dominated by a succession of foreign powers: the Kassites, the ruthless Assyrians, and the vengeful Elamites. By the 12th century BCE, the once proud city was on its knees, a shadow of its former self. Its people, humiliated and broken, prayed for a hero, a leader who could restore Babylon's honor and win back the favor of the gods. That hero arrived around 1125 BCE. His name was Nebuchadnezzar I. Now, it's crucial to know he was not related to the more famous Nebuchadnezzar we often hear about. They were separated by nearly 600 years, connected only by a royal name and a shared destiny to lead Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar I's reign was defined by one monumental achievement: his war against Elam, Babylon's bitter enemy. For years, the Elamites had held the most sacred object in Babylon captive: the statue of Marduk, the city's chief god. To a Babylonian, this was more than theft. It was a spiritual catastrophe. Nebuchadnezzar marched his army into Elamite territory and, against all odds, won a decisive victory. He brought the statue of Marduk home. The celebration in Babylon must have been incredible. This single act restored the city's religious pride and political legitimacy. It was a sign that the gods were with them once again. Under his rule, temples were rebuilt, and the city's spiritual heart began to beat strongly. While he didn't build a massive empire, Nebuchadnezzar I did something even more important. He resurrected the soul of Babylon, setting the stage for its future glories. Centuries passed, and Babylon's fortunes once again turned. The mighty Assyrian Empire expanded, swallowing Babylon and ruling it with an iron fist. But the spirit of Babylon, rekindled by Nebuchadnezzar I, never truly died. In 626 BCE, a Chaldean leader named Nabopolassar rose up in rebellion against Assyrian tyranny. He was a brilliant strategist and diplomat. Forging a powerful alliance with the Medes, another rival of Assyria, Nabopolassar waged a relentless war. In 612 BCE, their combined forces accomplished the unthinkable. They besieged and utterly destroyed Nineveh, the seemingly invincible capital of the Assyrian Empire. With Assyria shattered, the Neo-Babylonian Empire was born. Nabopolassar had laid the foundation, and when he died, he passed the torch to his son, a man destined to become one of history's most powerful rulers, Nebuchadnezzar II. Ruling from 605 to 562 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar II was everything his father had hoped for and more: a military genius, a visionary builder, and a ruthless conqueror. His reign began with a thunderous victory at the Battle of Carchemish, where he crushed the Egyptian army and secured control over the entire region. From there, his ambitions grew. His armies marched across the Near East, conquering Syria, the rich coastal cities of Phoenicia, and the Kingdom of Judah. His most famous military campaign was the Siege of Jerusalem, which ended with the city's destruction and the forced exile of its people to Babylon. This event, known as the Babylonian exile, would forever change the course of Jewish history. Under Nebuchadnezzar II, the Babylonian Empire wasn't just a regional power. It was the undisputed superpower of its time, stretching from the Persian Gulf to the borders of Egypt. His name inspired fear and respect across the ancient world. But Nebuchadnezzar II wasn't just a conqueror. He was a builder on an epic scale. He transformed his capital into a city of legend, a wonder of the world. He constructed immense double walls so thick, it was said a chariot could race along the top. He built the breathtaking Ishtar Gate, covered in brilliant blue-glazed bricks and adorned with images of dragons and bulls, a majestic entrance to a majestic city. Inside, he erected grand palaces and towering ziggurats, temples that seemed to reach the heavens. And then there were the fabled hanging gardens of Babylon. While their existence is still debated by historians, legend says he built this lush, terraced paradise for his homesick wife. Whether fact or fable, the story reflects the reality of his reign, a golden age where Babylon was the center of the universe. It was a bustling hub of trade, a cradle of science where astronomers mapped the stars, and a vibrant cultural heart that pulsed with wealth, power, and divine authority. Ancient texts paint a picture of Nebuchadnezzar II as a king bursting with pride, a man who looked upon his magnificent city and saw a reflection of his own power. In the Bible, his story serves as a powerful lesson about the dangers of hubris and the ultimate authority of the divine. His reign was the absolute peak of Babylonian glory. But like all great empires, it couldn't last forever. After his death, a series of weaker rulers and internal conflicts eroded the empire's strength. The end came swiftly. In 539 BCE, the city's massive walls were breached not by force, but by strategy, when Cyrus the Great of Persia marched into Babylon, ending its independence forever. So what is the legacy of these two kings? Nebuchadnezzar I was the restorer. He found Babylon in ashes and breathed life back into its soul, restoring its faith and identity. 6 centuries later, Nebuchadnezzar II took that restored soul and forged it into an empire of unparalleled might and splendor. He built the Babylon that has captivated our imaginations for thousands of years. Together, their stories tell the timeless tale of civilization itself, the cycle of collapse and recovery, the rise of ambition, and the inevitable journey from glory to dust. The walls of Babylon may have crumbled, but its legacy lives on, a testament to the kings who dared to build an eternal city. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient history, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from our incredible past. See you next time.